Making a sewing machine and blender. I would say it's going well. I am just doing I think this is called the belt. I know how to use a sewing machine. I don't necessarily know um, the name of every single element of it, and I really should. I know the elements up here that I use. I think this is called the belt. Um, there is an element of this where I am making it up and it's not true to form. You may notice me looking over to the side because that is where my sewing machine is. Um, oh no, no. I think I should have made that a lot thinner. No matter, we start again. Um, I probably could have done that without starting again, but it's fine. So the way that I did it is there is probably a simpler way to do this, but this is the way that I did it because it's the way I know how to do it. So I don't actually know why I am making this. It started off as part of the, what is it called, exhibitions that I was doing. Well, I've done one so far, and I'm planning two more. One later this year, and one not next year, but the year after, and then one about 2 years after that. I probably will do a few in between. So the one in 2 years is going to be an actual physical exhibition that people are going to attend in person. But the one this year um, is actually live at the moment and probably will be for the next couple of, I'm going to say years, as long as the platform is still live for that long on spatial.io. So it combines my love of Jamaican rum as an inspiration source. There's no actual rum in the exhibition, but it combines that with my love of vaporwave and lava lamps, and yeah, and it's based on underwear design because I am a digital underwear designer. Yay! But anyway, so that's the first one. That's live at the moment. If you go onto spatial.io and you look for my name, my name is generally the same on most platforms. You can find me. But so this was meant to be part of that, and it just didn't. It didn't make it into the final show, which is fine. But now it doesn't have a. What if I can nudge that up ever so slightly? Okay, no, I will have to. I'm forced to. There we go. So there's no. Because the last time I made it too thick, and that's why I didn't like the one that I'd done before. So I'm trying to make this one less thick. Not that I'm against thick circles, but the band is not. Sorry, I just saw something. I thought that's not right, but it wasn't the band. It was the power cable. It was just a little bit loose in terms of it wasn't tight. Um, obviously, but it wasn't tight against the engine, and I was a little bit worried. But it's fine. It was just the power cable, which shouldn't be tight anyway. I don't have a power cable because I've got the buttons, but I don't think I'm going to have a power cable. Where does the power cable go? I could put in a power cable. I think it depends on how I feel, because one of the things I did my dissertation on when I was looking at crafting in simulation games was that element of, that's the wrong arrow. That's not what I looked at. Sorry, no. What I looked at was that element of abstraction and, is that the right word? Yeah. But basically, just thinking about what things can you omit when you are making something to do with crafts from the real world that still give it the kind of feeling that you would get of crafting. So for me, when I made this, the things I think about when I think about sewing machine, obviously the needle, the hand wheel, but also because this is an industrial sewing machine, not just the foot and the band, but the two buttons for on and off. Actually, no. What is the second button for? Either way, so the two buttons, and one being red, one being black, and this, which is the most glorious thing on an industrial sewing machine, that you can lift up your presser foot, which I actually haven't modelled yet, because I feel like I'm going to need to look at that in a little bit more, like a little bit closer, because it doesn't sit on the needle. The needle is its own separate thing. It sits behind it, and then there's meant to be a lever at the back, which you can use, but you can also just use this, which is just pressing your knee to the side. Oh, it's a beautiful moment when you don't have to use your hand to take it off the fabric, to just push your knee, move things around. Oh, it's lovely. So for me, that was something that I needed to model onto this. Whereas the power cable, I'm not planning to plug it in whatever I do with it. So, is the power cable necessary in terms of displaying the idea of that it is a sewing machine and that it is electronic? And then also, if I do that, that will limit the places I can upload it to, because it will mean it will only fit in certain places. I may be slightly overthinking this. And with this, I'm trying to think whether to turn it to an angle or to leave it going up like this. I think I'm going to try it at an angle and see what I think. Problem about trying it at an angle is that then I lose the, yeah, that's what I lose. But at least now it's not fighting with that, and it's not as thick as it was before. I wonder who wrote the book of love? No, that's not what I wonder. What I wonder is, can I just extend? Oh gosh, that's not what I meant to do. Let's put that in edit mode. And I just wanted those ones. Can I move those forward and up and forward and up, forward and up? And what does that actually look like? Yeah, actually, I quite like that. I do. Oh, right, that's a cloth simulation. It's not what I wanted to do. Do want to move this. I might have to open the, oh gosh, some of the lines. Um, hmm, Forward, just a smidge, and forward. And then, oh, right. I think that's right. And move that back to that. And then that. And there again. And then move that back to, whoops. And we will and then, whoops. I just want that to be a little bit smoother. Okay, so that one needs to come down. There we go. Oh, and I want this one, whoops, these ones even, to come slightly up. So that, yes, yes. Beautiful. Okay, so I think now I can go back to object mode and I'm going to cut out. So this is going to be permanent now. Yes, I'm committing to this shape. I'm happy to commit. So let's cut that and apply that, commit to the cut, commit, and we'll cut out the sewing machine. Oh, whoops, wrong button. And apply, and that is the band. And then I think I meant new material. Band. And then new material, and that will be I want it to be kind of like greenish brown. I'm very pleased with that. I need to do something about the cloth though. Right, so if we go to edit mode, I was trying not to subdivide this area, but I don't think I can get away with not subdividing it. No matter how hard I try. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, right, I'm in edit mode, so nothing's going to happen. Ooh, whoops. I have to undo all of that. Oh, it doesn't like that at all. I do not know whether this will make it better. I'm actually assuming this might make it worse. And yet I continue. Well, living dangerously. At least this is a program where if it doesn't work, I can go backwards. Oh, because let me tell you, programs where you cannot undo are so stressful. Okay, yeah, no. Let's have a look. So, it just looks so it's still very, 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 very stiff. Oh, I just realized when I shaded it smooth, I shaded the top but not the bottom, so of course it didn't work. I needed to undo everything. Oh, this is definitely a terrible eye. Let's press save before we do dangerous things. I don't think I pressed save properly. Oh, dangerous things. Upsetting the computer. Oh, yeah. It's all coming back to me now. Okay, so I did this on the other side and I completely forgot that I did it. Oh, right. Yeah. I can deal with that later. At least it's kind of semi-draping. Either way, more needs to be done on the sewing machine. It needs a take-up lever. So not a take-up lever, a reverse lever. I think I might just go for the classic. And now, what should the take-up lever be? I am going to go with a cube. Oh, no, 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 I'm not going to go with a cube. I'm going to, well, actually, yes, I should go with the cube because everything else is quite boxy. As I was going to add a meatball so that I could make it nice and smooth. but actually it doesn't really make sense to make the take-up lever smooth when everything else is very boxy, and I'm not really planning to take away that boxiness because I wanted I wanted to really exemplify that industrial kind of element of an industrial sewing machine. Okay, so it's literally just the lever, so it doesn't need to be that thick. It's actually slightly thicker on top. Right, I think I would do it like that, and then I will add some edits afterwards. So let's add my favorite and get this done quickly. And then go to edit mode, and then I want this one. Nope, not that one. This one, right at the corner. And this one, not as overtly. And then this one, just up. And then all of it upwards, up. That down. And then all of it a little bit thinner. And then actually maybe not so big altogether. And then over. And ever so slightly in, and then my favorite again, because it just solves the problem of Z-fighting while allowing me to make the exact shape that I want. So let's apply that once more. Oh no, I just realized I did that wrong. Let's not apply that. Let's first ever so slightly rotate that and then move it towards, yes, perfection. And then let's apply it. Okay, that seems to have worked nicely. And in materials, I'm just going to give it the same material as the machine, which I shouldn't. No, I should give it the same material as the, actually it should be the machine, shouldn't it? I don't know, I'm very torn. Machine color or metal color? Machine color, metal color. I think I might leave it as the machine. And so I would like to add I'm going to go with another cube because I think it's the right shape that I need. And if it's not, these things happen. Right, so this cube is going to be for the space where the take-up lever goes. And I probably will use it to make the take-up lever in a moment. So let's get down to business. I literally only wanted to cut the machine. And I would like to go to edit mode because I just want to pick just this line and move it that way. Oh, perfection. And now we will go to my personal favourite, who we've heard from many times, but you know, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Just cut it. And we apply it. And then if we... Yes! Actually... it's possible. But that's a little bit too close to the needle. Because I don't want to have to move the needle as the thing. Oh, I see. I have already cut it. There we go. I need to actually look what I'm doing. So there we go. And we should be able to apply that. And then if I just... Okay, now, right space, wrong position. I should do it from that side, shouldn't I? It'd be easier. That's close enough. So we go to this and we go to apply, and now this is going to become, I'm not 100% sure how, but it will do it. It's going to become the take-up lever. Oh, I've pressed the wrong one. It's the one that tries to rotate and do all the things all at once. So I don't know about putting in a take-up lever guard, which is quite common, but I don't know if I need one. It's one of those things where it's likely I will end up putting it in. There we go. There and there and there and there. Okay, so I might need to, whoops, move the whole thing out because I need to copy and paste this. And oh, right, object mode. This will go. I need to see the lines. This will go here, and then ever so slightly down to go there. There we go. I'm assuming nothing has changed. Wrong one. Oh. Then reverse. Please excuse my spelling. Alright, so that's cube 1, and I want to add my favorite modifier and cut this cube out of it. No questions asked. And I don't need that anymore. Hmm. Right, that's so far, but that was not what I meant to do. Right, so we go back to object. No, I think I was in the right mode. And then is it Control R? Was it Shift R? Shift R? Shift R? No, Control R. Right, okay, so this I am going to top that slightly down. I'm going to try and, there we go. How did you end up the way down there? I mean, that's kind of the shape I was going for. So now, object mode, I need to add a glorious cylinder that hmm, wrong one, rotation, that's what I meant. And that needs to come up here, and it needs to be a lot smaller. A lot smaller. And then it's going to go up here. So if you have never used a sewing machine, the take up lever is one of the earlier stages before you put it through the needle. and it pulls the thread. It goes up and down, taking up the thread, and then it will come down into this groove, and then there's usually a hook above the needle and it will go through the needle. So that is the take up lever. Okay, so I must admit the whole of the take up lever is not usually that big, but the take up lever itself is also not that big anyway. So this is ever so slightly exaggerated. And I don't need you. Right, okay. So let's pop the takeout lever back. So this will definitely be a metal material. I think I need to rename this material though. Nice, simple, straight to the point names. So let's have a look. It should be slightly thinner than the gap it's going into, because you wouldn't want it to rub against the gap in real life. So I feel like that's too exaggerated. And I haven't exaggerated the angle. Whoops. This angle enough. Right, so I will again add the Boolean modifier and cut out the machine, because I really don't like Z fighting and I'm happy with that location. So that is the I'm just going to call it the take up because I don't know what that means. And it's in the wrong. Put the lights and everything in their own collection. Right, okay. So that's the take up lever. Should I make a new shape or use a shape I already have? I feel like I should just use a shape I already have. So let's copy this and... Did I copy and paste that? Oh, I did. Right. So let's find where the... I'm just going to call this hook so that I know it's different. Where's the hook gone? Okay, hook. And... Oh, there it is. Okay, so I need to rotate it. So let's say 10 to that. And oh, I want to say I want it to be think it's 180. Okay, no, I was on the right one before, and it is 100. Okay, close. It is not 100, it is minus 100. And then it is scaled. Because I wasn't going to do these front bits where the thread goes, but actually I think they're integral parts of recognizing that you're looking at an industrial sewing machine. Again, I need to change the material to, I'm going to go with metal 2 for that one as well. And I will be in a moment putting the delightful Boolean modifier to work again. But that is, I feel as though, oh, faces. Remember me, but I remember faces. But anyway, and let's just scale the face down, shall we? So, and then we'll just scale that down from both sides. And I think, oh right, no, modifier. Let's add the wonderful Boolean modifier to that. I remember how to do this, I've been doing it a lot. Agreed, Theron, agreed. Do you like my sewing machine? So I should be able to go into object mode because it doesn't work if in my object mode, and apply that. I think that's worked. Okay, so I also need to do the tension wheel here. If you've used a domestic machine, you'll know that the tension wheel is usually, the tension is usually at the top, but in an industrial machine, the tension goes down here, and then I need to do a hook up here, but I feel like I could probably copy this hook, rotate it, pull it up over. I mean, I definitely need to rescale it. I am thinking that to do that, I might just first move these in. What's the matter? What's the matter, Theron? What's the matter? Whoops, not the one I meant to move. Wait, how come Perhaps I can move that one. Surely I shouldn't, yeah, I shouldn't be able to touch that one. I must have selected them both. Okay, so I still think that is a little bit too. Okay, that's going to have to be the one that moves because I don't know. Okay, so now I think I should be able to do this and then do this, and then I should be able to scale this. Oh, am I doing this the right way? I think so. Maybe move it slightly down. And then scale. What's the matter? Hmm? What's the matter? Come, tell me all about it. What's the matter? Hmm? Or just general cat complaints? Or are you looking for attention? Hmm? Okay. You leaving? Right. Ta-ta, Theron. Right, now, where was I? And then I want to move that way. And then if we go back to that, I would like to extrude that further so that, not too far, so that I can select the whole thing and move it into the sewing machine. Let's go back to object mode. Let's make that 180. And of course, I'm going to add my favorite modifier and then apply it. Okie dokie. I think. Oops. There we go. There we go. So the thread will come from up here and it will come. Sorry, I feel like I've left something out. Oh, I have. So it'll come down here and it will go. I wrap it around twice, but different people do different things. There's a hook up here that has 3 holes in it, so I might just. How am I going to make that one? I'll make it in a moment. Anyway, and then it comes down, goes through the tension wheel, up through the hook, down through this hook, up through the take-up lever, back down again, and then there should be a hook above the needle. It goes through that hook, and then it will go through the needle from left to right. I am actually going to 3D model the thread, but that will be last. So how am I going to do? I think Um, it doesn't exactly look like this, but this is a really good place to start. So 0. And it is ever so slightly angled upwards. So let's go to edit mode and select all. And I'm just going to move that up and over. And I'm going to put it there. Actually, on the machine though. Slightly down. And then I am going to extrude this face. Oh, that's what I wanted to see. So then I'm going to use the right arrow, the blue one, to bring it right down. And then I need to go into that mode because I need to make this. Oh yes. Right, so now what I need are some very, very tiny circles. So if I go back to object mode, go to mesh, I'm going to add in some cylinders and make them super, super tiny. There we go. But I am going to, whoops. Oh, where did that cylinder go? It still needs to be tinier than that. Is that tiny enough? I would personally like that to be a smidge smaller. And I am going to angle it. There we go. So it's one of the things I don't genuinely look at the machine in as much detail as I am looking at it right now because I'm trying to model this element of it. I kind of even when I'm threading it, this is a section that is all it's very automatic. I know where it goes. I know how to thread it in. Well, I know where it goes, and I know how I like it threaded in, and I just do it. I don't really think about it in the way that I'm thinking about it now. So this is always an interesting exercise, I find, even when I was doing my dissertation and I was looking at the different aspects of craft. When you're trying to simulate something, you do look at it in a completely different way. and you realize, well, not you, different people are different. I realized that there were lots of elements of it that I hadn't thought about in terms of like translating them into a digital format, which was quite interesting. Right. So I'm assuming that this will end up as, oh no, I have to join it, don't I? And then it will be one shape. So I should be able to apply my favorite modifier, but I'm hoping to all of the shapes at once. Oh, yes, it worked. Right, and then I need to do it again because I need to do it for the machine. Ugh, beautiful, just beautiful. Okay, so I need to do the spool that the thread goes on, so the thread can come from the spool, wrap around this. I only wrap mine around this twice, but it does have, my one does have 3 holes. I think most of them have 3 holes. I haven't counted in depth to look if that's a common trait. I also need to do the tension wheel, which will go here, which is going to take a little bit more time because it needs particular layers. I'm not going to guess, I'm just going to look. I know it's got a spring in it, it's got 2 metal discs, it's got a screw at the top, and it's got kind of bolts on it, and then it's slightly raised from the machine, but I don't know if I'm going to add that bit. I mean, I could, there's nothing stopping me, it wouldn't be that hard. But as I said, it's the abstraction. It needs to be there, but doesn't need to be done in that particular way. But yeah, it's starting to look more like an industrial sewing machine. I'm going to brand it. I don't know what. And I do want to put some of the kind of like screw sections that are on it. Even though I'm looking at one and I actually don't know what it's for, I will have to look it up. Maybe sometimes knowing what it's for helps me model it. Sometimes it's not really necessary. But yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. I realise it's been a while since I pressed save, but yeah. And I'm also trying to model individual bits, thinking about whether I will want to animate them. So like the wheel here that usually spins like most wheels do, and that the band would spin at the same time. Um, this only moves when you want to take the presser foot up, which I haven't modelled yet. But if the presser foot's going up, that would have to go to the side. This would have to be on to have it functioning. Like so, the button would have to be up or down. I might need to expand the button slightly. Actually, that is something I could do now. No, because I molded the buttons to the table. Of course I did. Anywho, and fabric is another matter because I really don't like the way it's simulating it, but I feel as though that will need to be done last because that's going to take a lot of of just time and power to get it to the right fabric consistency without killing the computer. But yeah, I am pretty pleased with the way the sewing machine has gone so far. It was nice to share it as well because I've been working on it in kind of like secret quiet, and I don't know why because I should be sharing it. I'll probably do some work on it on Thursday because I'm away for a couple of days, but there will definitely be another stream. Hopefully on Friday, I'll do Friday modelling streaming, but it might be more Decentraland exploration. Could be anything. We don't know yet. I haven't really set up a timetable for the coming years. When I say the coming years, I'm going to be focusing on my PhD and anything to do with my studies. Excuse me. And this is to do with that in a kind of really abstract way, because I want to add sound to it, and I want to test um, different sounds to try and see if I can get the sound of each of these elements. Because when you're sewing, you do get used to those sounds, and it's hard to capture them normally. So I'm just going to try and replicate them, or see if I can find them replicated or similar sounds online, because there's no need to reinvent the wheel. If someone's done it already, then use it, give them credit. Why not? But yeah, so that is it for today. Hope you enjoyed um, watching me manufacture a sewing machine in Blender. I haven't finished, but I'm super proud of it. Only because I didn't like the ones that I saw. There seems to be a focus on vintage sewing machines, which, to be fair, they are delightful. But I really do like an industrial sewing machine. It's close to my heart, familiar. I was around a lot of them in uni. We did have a vintage sewing machine that was rewired to be an electric one. That was cool, but there's nothing like an industrial sewing machine, especially as oh, this is my first personal industrial sewing machine that I own, the one that I'm kind of using as a very vague reference, and I adore it. Um, I don't think I'm going to go through the effort of, well, it's not an effort, but I'm not going to go into the depth of having the sewing machine flip upwards so that you can see the oil underneath. I could always change my mind later and have that there, but simulating liquid, not the most, not the easiest thing. And then simulating oil as a liquid could pose a slight challenge. And I don't know if it's necessary. I might change my mind, because it might be a sound that I would like to add, because the sound of the sewing machine flipping up and hearing the oil dripping is quite a unique sound relevant to sewing machines. So I will think about it, but so far, this is where we are. I'm quite happy with it. I'm not sure how I'm going to add the string. I might have to look up a tutorial on how to do that and think about the best way. And then animating it, I think that it would be best to not animate the actual string, but have a cycling texture animation on top of it to make it look like it's moving. Yeah, but we'll see, because I will be animating the spool, because that needs to spin and the string needs to go up and down it. But I think I don't think it's necessary to have it actually unwinding. Um, I also think that would be terrible on the memory that I would have to use for that. But yeah, I'm pretty pleased with the outcome, and that is it for today. I've said that I think 3 times today, but then I think of something and I think, oh, actually, I should stream this. But yeah, I'm going to go and feed Theron. It is almost dinner time for him. But yes, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the sewing machine, and I can't wait to work on it more and show you my progress. Especially, I can't wait to get to the textures part of like normal maps and all of those wonderful things. I'm very excited about that, but I really want to make the foundation really good so that I can have lots of different colours on top of it and really enjoy that element of it. But yeah, that's it for today. Thanks for watching.